in the I-4 traffic, and if Randy's running, it'll take it maybe 3 days. It's about a 4-hour drive from Fort Myers to Daytona. The biggest weekend of the NASCAR season is upon us, and it's time for the Marty Party. Marty Smith joins us live. And Marty, the Daytona 500, just a couple days away. No one knows Dale Earnhardt Jr. better than you. What insight can you give us as he returns from that concussion?
First of all, it sounds like I need some insight on Randy's running form. Sounded like it was an abomination. I got to get some video of this, Nagandi.
It was awkward.
Holy smokes. As for Junior, during his concussion recovery, it was never about racing for the first several months. It was just about being able to see his wife walk down the aisle without fear of having equilibrium issues or sight issues or falling over. He said, racing is what put me here. I just want to have a, quote, normal life. Well, understandably, as his recovery progressed, he became more and more interested in returning to the racetrack. Ultimately, as we know, he decided to do that. And last evening here at Daytona International Speedway, he got on the track for the first time in competition, and he told me that effort, he was up front all night long, nearly won the race, alleviated any concerns he had and checked a lot of boxes in that recovery.
I haven't been racing anybody, so it feels great to have some competition out there and get out there with those guys. You know, that's just that's different than actually running out there by yourself. And felt like everything was, you know, I was processing everything the way I wanted to, and didn't feel like I was behind on my decisions and what I was feeling from the car and seeing and sensing around with the competition and the guys around me. I felt like I knew where everybody was at all times, and that's really, really important.
I asked Earnhardt after the race his level of optimism for Sunday's Daytona 500, and he very bluntly said, I have as good a chance to win the Daytona 500 as I've ever had in my career. Of course, he's won it twice, and he's not a guy, Kevin, that just flippantly throws those types of comments out. If he feels that confident, he means it, so look for that 88 to be fast on Sunday.
Can't wait for it in a couple days. Meanwhile, Marty, you're used to covering athletes who go fast. Check this out. You did this yesterday. I want the audience to see it.
How you feeling back there? Feeling good?
I'm good, man. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Marty, you ready to roll?
Let's rock, big boy.
All right. There's 160.
Altitude. Altitude.
Here come the G's.
Oh, wow. Oh, Nelly.
Oh, that's great flying with the Thunderbirds right there. And before you went up, you talked about having an egg and avocado sandwich. Was it still in your stomach when you landed?
Yes, Kevin. Yes, I kept down my lunch. Now, let me tell you, they did a good job editing that because there was a whole lot of four-letter words said during my flight. Unfortunately, America is not going to be subjected to that today. Look, it was unbelievable to be up there with my guy Speedy from the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. They are tremendous, and the passion that they have for what they do is so inspiring. We actually pulled, during my flight with him, 9.3 Gs. And what that feels like, it's like taking all your innards and shoving them up and trying to put them out your nose. It was unbelievable. I had to go through 3 or 4 hours of classes to learn various techniques to offset that G-force load. And despite all that education, it's still, there was a point where the tunnel was coming. Coming like this, and it got real black, and I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm about to pass out. I think I was like 2 seconds from passing out, bro. Amazing experience, just a tremendous experience, and thanks to the Thunderbirds for taking me up. It was awesome.
So after that, when did your stomach come down? How many hours later did your stomach come down from that experience?
Man, it took a while. And it's interesting because one thing I learned is a lot of people that have the tremendous opportunity to do what I did yesterday with the Thunderbirds, they do okay during the actual flight. They don't get sick. It's when the adrenaline wears off and they're actually on the way back in that they get sick. Well, I didn't get sick at all. I was proud of that. I had anxiety all day long. I mean, a lot of anxiety. And then you go into these classes, like I say, and they're like, all right, man, if we have to eject here's what you do. I'm like, eject? Are we really talking about this right now? Let's not talk about ejecting, man. I'm good with like the loop-de-loop thing, but let's not talk about ejecting and like eluding trees and stuff, power lines. I'm not interested in that part of this. But it was just, I can't, it's still hard to articulate what an amazing experience it was. So thanks to Speedy and everybody with the Thunderbirds for just an awesome, awesome experience.
Yeah, and more on that experience coming Sunday morning on SportsCenter. By the way, Marty, fist up. The Marty Party done here on SportsCenter AM this morning. Appreciate it, Marty.
I think he articulated